Councilmember O'Farrell and myself, Paul Koretz, present. And I would like to ask that item 2, 3, 4, 6, and 8 be placed on the consent calendar without objection.
No objections.
So we will vote on those items, and those will pass without objection. So let's begin with item number 1.
Item number 1, continue from November 19, 2013 and January 21st, 2014. City Attorney Report and Ordinance relative to adding Section 53.74 to the Los Angeles Municipal Code to ban the use of bull hooks or other tools designed to inflict pain to control or train elephants.
Mr. Chair, we have a committee report that's being copied and should be in committee in a few minutes. If that matter could be just deferred for a few moments until it arrives.
Well, the rest of the agenda is short enough that it might not arrive in time, so we might need a short break. But meanwhile, we'll move to item number 5.
Item number 5, report for the CAO relative to the 2013-16 MOU for the Engineers and Architects Association, MOUs 1, 19, 20, and 21.
Good morning, members.
Good morning.
Errol Griffin from the Employee Relations Division of the CAO's office.
Gregory West, Executive Director of the Engineers and Architects Association.
So we're here for any questions you may have, but you have before you 4 bargaining unit MOUs, which we began negotiating with in December of 2012. And they contain some unique and new provisions which have gone to the membership for vote. 3 of them initially passed in the first vote. The one that did not initially pass was then sent out to vote again and did pass and has been approved by those members as well as ratified by the Board of Governors?
Correct.
Well, I don't have any questions that I have not already had the opportunity to ask in ERC. Mr. O'Farrell, do you have any questions?
I really don't. Just a little bit of praise. Well done.
Thank you, and I appreciate very much that the committee was able to fit this in prior to recess. We appreciate the special meeting.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Well, we know this took a lot of work and effort, so we commend you both and everyone involved.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Item 5 will pass without objection. We approve the CAO's recommendations to approve the EAA MOUs. And now item number 7.
Item 7, CAO report, City Attorney reports and ordinances relative to recommendations for fiscal years 2014-15 and 2015-16 and related technical adjustments to the Los Angeles Administrative Code for non-represented city employees.
Yes, Carolyn Cooper with the Office of the City Administrative Officer, and this is basically consistent with Executive Employee Relations Committee instructions for non-represented employees, and in compliance with a previous council policy adopted. It is conforms to the salary structure approved for the Engineers and Architects Association, and along with 16 ordinances that are basically cleanup of the ad code. And I do have one substitution to make. There was a typo on one of the ordinances presented, actually in the preamble, but we want to substitute that in. And that is for the ordinance amending Section 4.820 of the Administrative Code. And I don't know if I should give those pages to Adam or David, or...
Since you're changing them, that would be correct
Yeah.
to me.
So basically, it had said, the city attorney accidentally changed it to saying organizations requested to represent city employees. It's actually organizations requesting to represent. So I just want to, it made a difference. So here you go. And other than that change, we're recommending that this committee approve the item and send it to council.
I have no questions. Mr. O'Farrell, any questions?
I have none either. Thank you.
So with that modest correction, that will pass with no objection.
Thank you.
So we approve the CAO's recommendations. And now, with the information arriving just in time, actually, I'll ask for a minute just to scan it, and then we'll call the item.
Yep.
Okay, so we will take item number 1. And, do we need the clerk to read that?
Item number 1, continue from November 19, 2013 and January 21st, 2014. City Attorney Report and Ordinance relative to adding Section 53.74 to the LA Municipal Code to ban the use of bullhooks or other tools designed to inflict pain, to control or train elephants. And we are in receipt of a further City Attorney Report dated April 8, 2014, submitted subsequent to publication of the agenda.
And do we have a report from the City Attorney's Office?
We do, and we've left several copies of this report for the public as well, so that the public will have a chance to read it at the same time. This goes back to a council action in October 23rd, 2013. We originally transmitted a draft ordinance on November 7th to this committee. The dates may be off for the committee meeting, but at the last committee meeting that this was agendized, the committee considered the draft ordinance and directed our office to expand the definition of the term use so that it would not be considered only in a striking manner. We've done that. We have included a definition of use to include brandishing, exhibiting, or displaying a bullhook in the presence of an elephant for the purpose of training or controlling the elephant. The ordinance is attached and here for your consideration.
And are there any changes reflected in this ordinance that deviate from the council action when it was requested?
Yes. The report also indicates that the original action was that it be limited to any public performance-related context, and this was expanded to prohibit the use of bullhooks in the city in any context to inflict pain or to control or train the elephant.
And the ordinance will become effective beginning of 2017.
Beginning of 2017, the council action also stated that it be effective within 3 years. That by the time this goes to council and it becomes adopted, it will be within 3 years. It'll be 2.5 years or so after the ordinance becomes effective. So that would comport to the directions received by the City Council.
Very good. Mr. O'Farrell, any questions or comments?
Thank you for your work, Mr. City Attorney. So it says in the ordinance shall become operative on January 1st, 2017.
Right, and we could have use the city council language about the ordinance becoming effective 3 years after its adoption, et cetera, but we thought that it was better to have a date certain that would also be within the ambits of the city council action. So by having it January 1st, it'll be somewhat within that 3-year period, but it should be consistent with the council direction.
Thank you.
And Mr. Clerk, are there any speaker slips in on this item?
No speaker cards have been submitted.
Well, no more questions. We're excited to reach this point, and thank the city attorney for much good work to get us here.
Thank you.
And let's ask for a roll call vote on this item. Just for fun.
Councilmember Koretz,
Aye.
Councilmember O'Farrell,
You had me at hello.
Lowe's.
Aye.
Reckon.
That item passes unanimously.
Very good.
And that being all of the business here today, we are adjourned.
Thank you.